Hello everyone, I'm the Self-Wind. I've just blown in. And today we are back with more Seduce Me 2, The Demon Walls. Last time, we completed Sam's path. Yay! Which means it is time for a new path to open up to us. We did purple, we've done red, we've done gold, we've done green, we've done blue. It only leaves this poor little black orb all by itself to go and talk to. So, let us get into it, shall we? Yes, I want the black one.
Hold on there!
Hey, Kay!
Before you start the game, I need to ask you a few things. Don't want you to get lost now.
Oh, it is one of my deepest fears. I am very navigationally challenged.
First of all, have you read the first story?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Next question.
Cool.
You do know this is Damien,
I'd hope so.
right?
Otherwise I'd be very confused.
You know, the demon that wanted to be a human?
Uh-huh.
The, bastard son?
Yep. Yep. I know exactly what I'm getting into.
Oh, awesome! Alright then. Damien is such a precious soul.
He
Deserves
is.
to be happy, you know?
Exactly.
Anyway, I have one last question for you.
Cool.
Some people like hearing the trigger warnings before they start games, while
Understandable.
others don't really care and just want to play. It's cool either way, but do you want to know about some of the content listed in the game?
Sure. 'Cause why not? This is our last of the routes that we're gonna start right now.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
It's your
Well,
job.
This game is recommended for players ages 18 and up.
Yep.
Trigger warnings include suicide, war, torture, mentions of rape, and a large amount of violence and sexual content.
Woohoo! All the good things. Also, yes, if you are not above the age of 18, please click off. My channel is not for children. Especially for as much as I will tend to curse at random. Also, this game, as she pointed out, yeah, 18 plus, please.
Don't worry though, any sex scene choice you encounter is completely up to you.
Uh-huh.
You can play this game without needing to go through the sex scenes.
Oh, we're gonna
Still
talk
get
about
the
that.
good endings. Consent is important.
100% agree, consent's important. Yeah, there's a scene in Damien's route that I'm gonna have a very long discussion about. So, yeah. We'll talk to it when we get to it. Just, let's say this. The first time I played this game, Damien's route is the first one I did, or tried doing. And I kept getting locked out of the ending I was going for because of certain things. Maybe the game has been patched and updated since then. I'm actually not sure, because I think this was way back when the game first came out that this was happening to me. But yeah, we'll talk to it when we get to it. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a not so fun conversation, but it's way a ways still.
I think that should be everything. All right. Phew, that took a while.
I know, right? Hey, Dee. That you're in this game? Obviously.
Huh? What did I forget?
You forgot about the disclaimer.
Really?
Oh, crap! How could I have forgotten about that?
I know, right?
It's fine, I'll take care of it. This game was produced by Michaela Laws using the Ren'Py visual novel engine. We truly hope you enjoy this story.
Same.
Thanks, Diana. Now,
Thank you.
don't you have a war to go fight?
Yeah, go get in character.
I do. I just wanted to make sure everything was in order before the story began. I'll take my leave now.
Bye, Dee.
Thanks, Di.
Do not call me Di.
Aw.
Anyway, we really do hope you like the story. Have fun. See you at the end.
Yeah, see you soon. I told him I had no regrets. I told Damien that I did not regret for 1 second that I made a deal with Diana to make him human. Oh. Okay, already the game is making an assumption about what isn't canon. Oh. I stood steadfast and knew what I was doing. I mean, do I? But I still didn't like the choice I had made. Then, never mind. Something in my gut didn't feel right about what I did to Damien. Don't you mean what Don't you mean what Diana did to Damien? Okay, sorry, that was in poor taste. Yes, I knew that Diana wouldn't have raped him. But what if she had? Exactly. What if I gave her permission to do so and I didn't know it? What if he didn't want to go through with it and Diana really did sleep with him anyway? Possible. I was mortified at the choice, but I had just wanted him to be happy. True. Every time he said my name made me feel so happy. Every time he held me or kissed me was a moment I carved into my memories forever to cherish. I loved him and wanted him to be truly happy. Damien reassured me that Diana didn't do anything to him, but I could not help but imagine it and even dream of it. Wow, that's some naughty dreams right there, girl.
So, bastard son, do you truly wish to become human? You know very well that I am capable of making that happen.
I mean, are you?
I will not betray her trust.
Aw, good boyfriend.
What she doesn't know won't hurt her.
Hey.
Besides, don't you want to be human so you can be with her and not put her in any danger?
Oh, come on. I'm fine.
Stop it!
Exactly. I couldn't stop illusions of what Damien and Diana could have done from appearing in my dreams, like a scene doomed to repeat over and over. Diana, shrouded in shadow, would loom over Damien and show herself as the evil woman she truly was. Hey, we've seen past where Diana's very nice. Very much a lovely soul. Damien, however, would struggle, fight to get away from her. I didn't want to see this, but I was forced to watch the scene play out. You know, the scene represented by a black background.
Stop it. What makes you think you're in a position to say no to me?
Hey, the disclaimer already pointed this out. Consent is important. No means no.
I won't do it, Diana. You can't make me do this.
Exactly.
Oh, can't I? Your precious little human isn't here to save you.
I think he's quite capable of defending himself. I tried to scream, to protest and prove Diana wrong, but I knew that I wasn't there. I was merely a bystander to a dream I could not stop. I was forced to witness Diana chaining Damien up to a black bed and touching him in the most sensual and unwanted ways possible. Her nails and tongue running along his skin made both him and me flinch and whimper in disgust. You sure it's disgust there?
Stop it!
I'm just saying, maybe your dream is telling you you want a three-way with Diana.
What? Are you not enjoying yourself? You're an incubus. And even more than that, a man.
Wow.
Surely you can enjoy this treat in exchange for your precious humanity.
Wow, there's so much wrong in that statement. One, not all guys are straight. Two, maybe sex with you for him isn't an air quotes treat. Yeah. Dream Diana, not real Diana, notwithstanding. This is messed up. This was wrong. I know, I just talked about it. This was sick and beyond wrong. I felt like I was outside the small bubble Damien and Diana were in, and I was beating against the wall, trying to get in and stop her, but I couldn't break through. Each movement Diana made grew more and more sexual, like a predator playing with its prey. And chains are involved, apparently. Damien struggled, thrashing about and fighting back against the chains that held him down, trying to break free. I prayed that he would. I screamed in the hope that he would be released from this. However, Diana glared and snapped her fingers, forcing him to gasp and his eyes to glow gold. He began to quake, as if he were dying and starved like an animal, and glared angry daggers at Diana, who only laughed. What sent deadly shivers down my spine was Diana looking over at me, as if she knew I was watching. I mean, she might.
Remember, dear, you made...
No, I didn't. Depending on which run of the playthrough, I might have just asked Damien, stay as you are. Keep your powers. There's really... I'm not saying your powers make you who you are, but they are a part of you. It's sad that you don't really have the acceptance to, air quotes, love yourself as you are, but... Yeah, I don't like the fact that right off the bat, this game has made the decision of you did the ritual of Diana. I really don't like that. I do understand, only so many hours in a day, and they decide what isn't canon. But as this was such a big decision, I really don't like the fact that it's not reflected here. Diana chuckled before leaning close to Damien's face, licking over his mouth and straddling his hips.
She was a cute little diversion.
Hey!
But now it's time to have some real fun.
Well, you at least acknowledged I was cute. Also, get off. And not in that way, ew. As Damien began to scream, I suddenly awoke from my nightmare, mentally unable to take being trapped inside of it anymore. Oh, we don't get the good part.
Huh?
Aww. He's so cute. Beside me, I heard and felt Damien rise out of bed in response to me waking. I looked over at him, seeing him quickly rub his eyes and look at me with worry.
Hey, what's wrong?
Everything. Nothing. I knew he couldn't read my mind anymore, so I wouldn't have known what I had seen. I still couldn't help but need to embrace him from the dream I had. Grabbing Damien's arm gently, I began to whimper. Well, you're not going back to sleep again, Damien.
Huh? Hey, come here.
Always. Snuggle. Damien gently wrapped his arms around my form and hugged me to him, petting my back. I let out a weak mewl, shutting my eyes and trying not to cry. Damien gently kissed over my head, trying to calm me down.
Everything's okay. It was just a nightmare. I'm right here.
Yes, you are. His voice helped me slowly start to relax, knowing what he said was true. It was a nightmare, not real. I couldn't shake all of the sadness from my mind, but I calmed down enough to not let it control me anymore. Damien gently rocked me, his arms wrapped around my body lovingly, as he softly whispered my name. My mind simply melted into a peaceful hum. And this character's name is... Yeah, let's just be Mika this time. Because I actually don't remember what I had originally had Damien's girl be named. Hopefully the next run through I will have actually done my homework this time and gone back through the original LP and found out what the name is. But for this run it's gonna be Mika. Everything was okay now. Everything was fine. I looked up at Damien and rubbed my eyes as he loosened his embrace around me. I'm sorry, I just can't stop thinking about the deal I made with Diana.
I told you before that it was fine. Honestly, it's nothing to worry about.
Well, my brain says differently. Damien gently kissed my forehead before pressing his to mine, nuzzling me softly. He stared deep into my eyes with a loving smile, one that made my heart ooze in happiness despite my worry.
I cannot be any happier than I am now.
Aww.
Marrying the woman of my dreams as a human, an actual human. I owe everything to you.
Are you just saying part of your world now? I'm just saying, you're a redhead, you want to be human. Damien. I rubbed my nose against Damien's, closing my eyes and wrapping my arms around his neck. I knew he was being sincere and was truly happy. I had to get over my fears and deal with it. He was human now, and we were going to be married soon. My heart truly couldn't believe it. I was going to marry to Damien, and we'd live happily ever after together. He was so good, I almost couldn't believe the truth of it. However, I was always reminded of the reality of it every time Damien held me in his arms. Damien smiled before kissing my head and patting the bed behind me.
Come on. Let's go back to sleep. I'll be right here if another nightmare appears.
Aww. I nodded and slowly fell back into the mattress, cuddling up to Damien as he laid beside me. If the nightmares came back, Damien would be in my arms, reminding me it was all fake and just my imagination. Everything would be all right. The night quickly passed by, and the morning sun peeked through my window drapes and landed perfectly over my eyes, waking me up. I stretched and yawned, not wanting to get up just yet. I know that feeling. Come on, you got things to do. However, the emptiness of the bed next to me made me open my eyes wide, finding no Damien beside me. Truly a very terrible fate. This isn't going to be a good morning at all. Damien? I sat up and looked around the room, rubbing the sleep from my eyes. Damien was nowhere in the room, which confused me. Where was he?
Oh, good morning.
Oh, there you are. I looked over at the door to see Damien holding a tray of breakfast with 2 plates full of delicious food. Okay, this is why we're marrying him. Good to know. In a vase beside my breakfast plate were 2 beautifully bloomed white roses, which made a soft smile grow on my face. Morning? Is that for us? No, it's for the birds.
Yeah. I figured why not have breakfast in bed?
Aww. You're so sweet. Thank you. No, right? He is a little cinnamon. Damien smiled and sat beside me, placing the tray over both of our laps. The smell was practically intoxicating in the best way possible. Before we began to eat, however, Damien picked up the TV remote from the nightstand beside him.
James's big toy reveal is today.
Ooh!
You mind if we watch it?
Turn it on. I shook my head, eager to see it as well. James had become the CEO of Anderson Toy Company, so I was curious to see how he was doing and how the company was holding up. Apparently it was rising higher and higher up the top businesses rankings, and soon had become one of the top 500 businesses internationally. Woohoo! Go James! I was proud of James, but I was more happy to see that Damien seemed to be his #1 fan. Aww. He was always giddy whenever he talked about all of his brother's accomplishments. It was so adorable. Damien grinned before turning on the TV and changed the channel to the local news station. It was one of the best news stations out there, and I was not being biased. Anyone who claimed to love Chicago knew it. Well, I know nothing of Chicago, so maybe it's not.
All right, so here we have an interesting story to tell. The
Ooh.
Anderson Toys Company, an internationally famous toy business, has just recently announced a new line of toys in development. According to the CEO, the line is set to focus on fantasy.
Aww,
Let's take a look at the public announcement.
I like it already.
I am more than happy to show off our new line, Fantasy Kingdom,
Uh-huh.
to you all this morning. These toys will not only provide friendship and fun for children around the world,
And collectors.
but will help inspire imaginations and let creative minds grow.
Aww. I could not help but squeal at what I saw on the TV. All lined up in a row were adorable cartoon-like stuffed animals. Cartoon-like stuffed fantasy dolls, glimmering in the broadcasting lights of the TV station. There were knights, royalty, and creatures of all kinds. Some not even truly fantasy. Go on. Damien, however, laughed quietly at the sight. Huh? What? They're all really cute.
They are. Only a couple of them are real, though.
What now? Huh? Really? My jaw dropped. Some of the creatures that were represented were actually real? I knew demons and devils existed, but there were more than them? Why is that a shock? My mind began to imagine all of the creatures on the screen being potentially real. Damien nodded and pointed to the TV.
Vampires are real, but they don't look like that. They look like humans.
Huh, interesting. No way! I could not believe it. There was no way vampires existed. Damien, however, nodded with a reassuring grin.
I promise it's true. Werewolves used to exist too, though they
Used
were
to?
killed off by the vampires.
Aww.
Let's see.
Oh my god, that's your next visual novel. A werewolf is born and the vampire they fall in love with. Come on, it could happen. I looked to the TV to see the vampire doll and werewolf plush, sitting next to each other, being simply cute and stereotypical of what most people imagine them to look like. Damien then pointed to the screen again.
There, the angel toy?
Uh-huh.
Angels are real too.
Ugh.
They don't look like that.
Good to know. I looked over to see a beautiful gold-haired doll of an angel. They really didn't look like that. I tilted my head at Damien. How do they look if they're not like that?
Well, they look...
Go on. Damien rubbed his chin, unsure of how to reply. I could tell he was being serious and wasn't lying about them looking different, but they seemed to be hard to describe. Damien then shook his head.
They look like old statues. It's really hard to say without drawing it out or something.
Get some paper? Start drawing? I really wasn't in the mood to get up and grab paper and a pencil. Boo. So I shrugged and let it go for the moment. Damien and I looked back to the TV, seeing the entire lineup pass by the camera, showing what toys were available. Hey, I'm surprised you didn't make a demon toy, like a cat girl or something.
I don't think many people would understand it. Though it would be cool to have a demon doll.
Exactly. Also, come on, you have vampires in line. A demon's not that far removed. I guess you're right. They are for kids, after all. And tricks. Tricks are for kids. I looked to Damien as he became absorbed in the line of toys. I couldn't help but smile at how intrigued he was. It made me curious. Hey, Damien, did you ever have toys as a kid? I mean, you lived with Matthew, so it's possible. Damien looked at me in surprise before shaking his head with a slight grimace.
No, I didn't. Matthew made some for me sometimes, but they were always taken away.
Aww. Jerks. Also called my theory. I frowned. I was sorry for asking, but Damien shook his head again and smiled.
However, when we came to the human world, I actually got one. It was a stuffed kitten. I didn't do anything, but it was fluffy and cute.
Aww! Well, so where is it now? I totally want to see it. Damien rubbed the back of his head in embarrassment.
Must be dumb, huh?
No.
A grown man with a cute toy like that?
No, absolutely not. I think it's something that's very sweet and vulnerable about Damien. That's honestly one of the reasons he's probably the favorite of my boys. It's alright. No way, it's cute. No way, it's cute. Oh, that expression. Damien stared in shock at me, but I was being serious. As serious as I know how to. It didn't matter that Damien was a man. Cute toys were cute for a reason, and it was okay to think so. Having cute toys is not a bad thing at all. That's what some toys are meant to be. Cute. It doesn't matter who has them or how old you are. Cute is cute. Exactly, says the 40-year-old with her 2 Mimikyu plushies sitting by her computer. It was just a fact to me. However, Damien couldn't help but chuckle softly before bringing one hand onto my head and petting over my hair.
You are so adorable, you know that?
Aw, thank you. Huh? I blushed and looked down at the breakfast tray in front of us. It wasn't that cute. I mean, I think I'm adorable, really. I felt myself rub the back of my neck in embarrassment. Shush. That made Damien laugh and kiss my cheek, forcing a gasp to come of me. I looked at Damien, and he smiled, a playful grin at me.
It's true.
Aww. We both turned back to the TV and listened as James explained each toy in detail. I looked over to Damien to see him practically enthralled with the sight of his brother presenting his line. I gently nudged him, making him look back to me. Geez, you're making me jealous. It's like James is enthralling you through the TV to buy his toys. What, we don't get them for free? Well, I'm disappointed. I, of course, was joking. Damien was very happy for his brother, especially James. With a raised eyebrow, Damien gently removed the tray from my laps, placing it on his nightstand before crawling over my body and making me lay back. I stared up at him in surprise, as he gave me a seductive smirk.
And what if I was enthralled by you?
Ooh, interesting. Eloquent girl. Chef's kiss. I was speechless. Damien was full of surprises, even as a human. He didn't have the ability to read my mind, but he knew exactly what to say to make me squirm. How was he this good? He was human now. I mean, is he? Damien chuckled before leaning down and kissing me. Despite him not being a demon anymore, his kisses were always so magical. They each took my breath away each time his lips touched mine. I loved them. I wrapped my arms around him and deepened the kiss between us. Forgetting about what was going on with the toy line, all I could think about was Damien's kiss. It was sweet and passionate, eager to make my body quiver underneath the one kissing me. However, the sound of our stomachs rumbling in sync forced us to break away from the kiss and look down at our touching bellies. It's just your bellies that are touching right now. Pfft.
Maybe we should eat a bit before we continue this, huh?
Good idea. As much as I wanted to keep making out with Damien, I knew my stomach would keep interrupting, and so would his unless we ate. Exactly. We ate the delicious breakfast Damien made while watching the rest of the news. It was a nice segment, and Matthew even appeared to help during James's presentation. Aww! Again, I would like to see this. Soon we were flipping channels and watching random shows. The day passed by lazily. We barely left the bedroom because we just didn't want to do anything. Understandable. Sometimes a rest day is nice. It was rather relaxing, surprisingly. I knew we had to work on the wedding arrangements eventually, but today was not the day for that. We needed a day to ourselves, to remind each other that we were going to be together for a long time. Fingers crossed. It wasn't long before we found ourselves cuddling into each other's arms, taking a mid-afternoon nap. It was a sweet and peaceful drowsiness that lured both of us to close our eyes together. The darkness of my mind invited me to stay a while, and I gladly accepted its invitation. It felt nice and was enjoying the rest it gave my body. However, I soon saw that I was not alone in the dark. Hi, sweetie. Why is sinister music with you? Damien slowly appeared before me and took my hand, kissing it gently. I felt myself shudder, but it wasn't his nude form or his kiss that surprised me. It was his eyes. My mind recognized those eyes, shivers shooting up my body from the sight. Instead of the loving and soft blue and purple his eyes usually were, they were a deep gold. They bore into my soul as Damien continued to keep his lips on my hand. Damien? Heh? Excuse me, I'm better than a heh. As Damien smirked against my skin, my body began to feel hot, making me curl into my body. I tried to pull my hand away from him, but he held it firmly, keeping his lips against my skin over my knuckles. No. I recognized the feeling. He was enthralling me. Why was he doing this in my dream? Why was this happening? We continued to float in the darkness, his enthrallment invading my body as he held my hand to him still. I had to make him let go. I had to. Stop! I finally was able to pull my hand away and held it close to my chest. Damien stared in shock before something dark covered my eyes.
Look out!
Huh? From out of nowhere, Diana's voice rang through the air, followed by the sounds of intense battle. I looked around the darkness, unsure of what was going on, but something did not feel right. As I stood lost in the dark, I felt a heavy weight upon my back, forcing me down. It was as if a large boulder was pressing down on me, wanting to crush me beneath its weight. I fought against it, gritting my teeth as I struggled. A large grunt echoed from me, forcing me to look up and see Diana pushing at the boulder to get it off of me. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Why would Diana ever help me? 'Cause she is not an evil person? Quickly, we both forced it off of my body, and soon I found myself looking into the great hall of the Incubi old castle in the Abyssal Plains. The interior was as regal as I remembered, but behind me was a broken-down entrance, where I assumed the boulder had originated from. However, Diana and I were not alone.
Is she all right?
Am I?
I wouldn't worry about her, you mistake.
Screw you, sir. I stared as the Demon Lord and Damien stood squared off of each other. In the Demon Lord's hands was a large chain, covered with dry blood, and my stomach turned at the sight.
She will never leave this world alive as long as I live.
Keep telling yourself that. Indeed. I looked at Damien, then back at the Demon Lord. What was going on? Why was Diana here? Why was I here? I know, right? As the Demon Lord whipped his chain at Diana, Diana shot out a blast of purple energy, forcing it to ricochet away. Diana stepped in front of me, and Damien, glaring hard at the Demon Lord, and preparing another spell in her hands.
Go with her. I'll deal with this once and for all.
Okay, later. Let's go.
If I'm going to fall here, all of you will fall with me!
No, that's not on my itinerary for today. The demon lord, with a crazed grin, pointed his hands toward the ceiling and let out an angry growl. Uh-oh. I do not like that sound effect, causing tremors and quakes to run through the room. Diana shot her hands upward and formed a purple barrier around our bodies, but she winced with each stone that fell and slammed into the barrier.
I can't hold it.
That's what she said?
This castle will be your grave!
No? My instinct was to reach out and hold onto Damien, but before I could move, he grabbed my face and kissed me roughly. I stared at him, wondering what he was doing, but I kissed him back and dug my fingers into his shoulders. Was this a dream going to end with us dying? Uh-oh, that's no good. As Damien pulled away, I saw tears begin to form in his eyes. I stared as he gently pulled away from me and ran outside of Diana's barrier at the Demon Lord, picking up a fallen sword from the ground. No, Sweetie, get back here! With a courageous shout, Damien slashed at the Demon Lord, forcing him to quickly jump backwards towards the throne.
Keep her safe.
No.
What? Are you insane? You're powerless against him.
Exactly. Get back here.
You're faster than me as a demon. I won't be able to get out of here fast enough for us both to survive.
Damien! I wasn't sure what was happening, but I didn't like what I was seeing. Why was Damien telling Diana to keep me safe? I watched as Damien looked at Diana with an infinite glare and nod. Before I could question it, Diana ducked down and threw me over her shoulder. Aw, fireman carry style. How she managed to be strong enough to perform such a feat was beyond me, but I was too thrown off to care.
You will not be forgotten.
What now?
Just go.
No. I reached out to Damien, losing track of what was happening as Diana began to run away from him and the Demon Lord faster than a speeding car. But is she faster than a speeding train? Damien? Damien!
I love you.
I watched the tears run down Damien's cheeks as he reached back for me, but he remained where he stood. As Diana ran with me over her shoulder, the ceiling began to crumble within the hall. Stone and glass falling all around the Demon Lord and Damien. The world around me began to go into slow motion as I kept reaching out to Damien, struggling in Diana's arms as she ran. Why was this happening? I could only watch as the Demon Lord approached Damien and quickly wrapped the chain around his neck, pulling him into the air and hanging him with it, like an executioner's noose. Damien tried to place his feet on the Demon Lord, while his fingers clawed at the chains, trying to find some purchase. As he managed to get his feet around the Demon Lord's neck, a large avalanche of stone and glass fell over their bodies, hiding them from sight. I couldn't be sure, but it looked as if they had been crushed. No! The world around me broke apart as I began to scream in agony at what I was forced to witness. It couldn't have been real. I didn't want it to be real. I let the darkness of my dreams envelope me, as I mentally repeated over and over that this was not real. Once again, I was floating in the darkness, curled into myself in an overwhelming sadness. Why was this happening? Why was I being forced to see nightmare after nightmare? 'Cause you're the main character? I dug my nails into my arms, wanting to wake up already. Please let me wake up, please. As I felt my body begin to fall, I let go of my arms and tried to reach for something to stop my rapid descent. Aha! Faster and faster I felt my body tumble and fall through the dark into the unknown oblivion. I tried to grasp at anything to catch me, to stop me. Eventually I woke up, holding onto Damien as I refocused my vision. I was back in my room. I had landed and awoken before I felt the impact. Or perhaps the impact woke me up. Always valid. My grip on his shirt woke Damien from his sleep, gasping to look at me.
God, what happened? What's wrong?
Bad dream. Bad dream. Damien. I instinctively wrapped my arms around him, needing to feel him physically. It wasn't enough to see or hear him, but the feeling of his body being in my arms reassured my mind that he was okay, that he was here with me, alive. Damien looked at me and wrapped his arms around me, letting out a small sigh and nuzzling me softly.
Another nightmare?
Uh-huh. Good guess. I could only nod against his shoulder. I was quivering in his arms, but I was thankful that everything was okay. My dream was just that, a dream. I sighed and kissed his cheek softly, silently apologizing. Damien held me close for such a long time, understanding my need to simply feel him. He didn't pull away, nor did he speak. He simply held me and gently nuzzled me to help me fully calm down from my fear. I felt his hand gently pet my hair, aiding my shift from my sadness to relaxing calm. Everything was fine. Everything was okay. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep getting nightmares.
You can't control your dreams.
No, but still. My memories flash back to the first time he said that to me. It was the day right after we met. He had saved me from my nightmare of Malik's. I let a smile cross my cheeks as I looked up at Damien. Hey, you told me that when we first met. Damien gently pulled away and smiled at me, kissing my cheek.
I did, didn't I? You remember that?
Aww. I nodded. I never wanted to forget how we had met. He and his brothers came to the human world and arrived at my house, where I got to be with them and learn about them. At the same time, I was able to become close to Damien and fall in love with him. Yes, there were some bumps along the way, to put it mildly, but we were able to get through them. We were able to give Damien something he desperately wanted, to be human. Damien gently caressed my cheek, inviting me to nuzzle into his palm. He smiled down at me as he laid his forehead against mine.
No matter what comes our way, I promise to protect you and love you for the rest of my life.
Hopefully a very, very long life. You'll never leave me? Or let Diana carry me away? Damien shook his head and I believed him. His simple smile was enough for me to understand that he was telling the absolute truth. He wouldn't leave me, and I would never leave him. I, however, unfortunately, do have to leave you because our time is up for today. So until next, tak ligatilok hedo.